welcome everyone to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I am your hardcore host, Rick Head, and I'm joined by the hardcore crew. Well, some of the hardcore crew. With me right now, I've got the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV. Lance, what's shaking?
Not too much. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, and we are expecting the Lord Skelton Joseph Knight to arrive very soon. It's just he's getting himself ready to find new ways to annoy people and take notes.
If you have any ideas for him, send them to Joe at Skelton. I'm like,
Well, you know what, Lance? While we're waiting for Joe, we talked about this a little bit before the show. What the fuck happened with the Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura street fight? I have one question. How the fuck can you have a street fight when in the match never even leaves the fucking ringside?
Exactly. I mean, it ain't like it was cold outside where they were. I mean, it was in what? It was in like a warm place, so it wasn't damn cold. But I guess, we can't have it would be a danger to the public or whatever. Hell, at least set up some bullshit concession stands or a bullshit merch stand, you know.
They could have done any of that. They could have, even if they started, like, if they had done some kind of like a theatrical where they're fighting in the street and then make their way into the building.
Yeah.
You know what? Great, fine, cool. But it just, for some reason, they had to. This was just basically a no DQ match, and it made no fucking sense at all.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, you know, people bitch about AEW's like wrestling, the shows. Well, you know what? At least when they do a street fight, they do it in the street or in a parking lot. You know.
Yeah.
Just pretty soon WWE's got.
Boss, a quote comes to mind to me, and it's from it's from Cody's daddy, WWE baby. Don't do shit you don't know how to do.
Yeah, no kidding. Just to say the least. So. And Terry 3G is in the room along with Kristen Delmay Vinyl Revival. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey.
So I don't know, you guys, if you'd watch Raw, what's your take on the street fight between Cody Rhodes, or I like to call it the ringside fight between Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura? So. If you guys can figure out what the difference is, I don't know what the WWE creative is going through. Something tells me that Vince is still working, the company somehow. That's a Vince McMahon move.
Yeah.
But all right, well, excuse me, we're gonna move along. An artist known as Lily took to Twitter where she called out AEW for ripping off her artwork for the latest Adam Cole T-shirt. Well, the T-shirt.
Yeah, so teach them.
Oh, Joe, are you listening, or are you just welcome, Joseph Knight, to the Hardcore Wrestling Rants?
Thank you. It's been crazy. The wind has been so strong out here that lights are going out, trees are falling everywhere.
Oh, you get the same shit. Yeah.
It's like putting Tammy Stitch behind the wheel. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Oh.
God, Jesus Christ.
That's Joe at Skelton. I'm like,
I gotta start the show, at least my part. Start it off correctly.
I already got the email in once.
Well, you missed my rant. I know you don't watch WWE, but apparently Shinsuke Nakamura and Cody Rhodes had a street fight inside the arena that never left ringside. How do you call it a street fight, Joe?
It's a ringside fight.
Yeah, exactly. If they at least put the ramp and they had some kind of just CGI where they put
let's put some green screen and let them fight in different areas.
Something stupid. At least I would have been like, okay, I could buy to even if they didn't even go in the arena, in a fight around the crowd.
I think the last great street fight we've ever seen was one of the WrestleManias where Roddy Piper took on Goldust, and they actually supposedly drove around.
Brawl.
Yep.
Oh no, they had a few parking lot brawls in the on AEW last year. So they've done 2 or 3 of them. So, um, and I myself, it's just I was a little bit irritated, but I want to get back onto the topic at hand. This artist is Lily, and she basically did a very nice mock-up of Adam Cole Devil, slash Devil uh, picture. And of course, around the same time, AEW released a T-shirt with a similar mock-up. And I'm going to tell you, the shirt in question, it's not exactly the art copy of the artist's work, but it's still very, very close. But I myself, to want to say, it's kind of hard to. It's not really an original idea, so to speak, because they did it with MJF when he was a devil, the half face, and the devil mask. So, Joe, your thoughts on this person who literally made it a very similar artwork days before or after that shirt was released?
Okay, if it was before, somebody saw it, liked the shirt, and they, again, this is me thinking here. One, they went to the individual, says, "Hey, can I use that for a shirt? Maybe offer a little bit money, you know, be nice and offer them money." Um, I'm assuming, and whenever you assume, you're making an ass out of yourself. So they probably saw it and said, "You know what? Why pay this person?" Or maybe the person wanted more money, and they said, "Let's just copy it because it's not a trademark, and plus it is Adam Cole's name." So it, so pretty much I could see them allowed to use it, and who's gonna say, "Oh, I did it first"? So it's a very tough argument because legally, if that person you can't trademark somebody else's name. So if it's a look or something that pertains to wrestling and it's somebody else's and you're just making a design, it's still that other person's gimmick. It's still that thing that belongs to that to that company.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they probably saw it. Oh, that'll be great. And well, they can't use it. They can't charge us because it's our models and logos. So
Yeah, but they
that's it.
also had a couple of years ago. They had MJF had a devil shirt, which was very similar, where the mask and half mask and half of his face. So it's not an unoriginal concept, unfortunately. So that's
It's
another
not.
thing. So, and Lance, your thoughts?
I honestly think this is just circumstances, because I mean, it's just one of those things that just happened. Because, like you said, this ain't the first time they've done the half face thing. I mean, hell, I remember back in the day they did like a Jeff Hardy or somebody did a half face paint, half not face paint with Jeff Hardy. I'm pretty sure they probably done one with Sting. Hell, they probably done one with Muda, just pictures wise. And like you said, they did the MJF thing. I just think it's one of those things that nobody's really at fault. It's just one of those things that just happen.
Yeah, and even Terry 3G said if she posted on socials before AEW put out the shirt, then it's possible copyright issue for sure. But again, it's not like they're using the exact same image. If it was the
Yeah.
exact image, then I could say you'd have a problem. But it's not. It's just the same concept. They're 2 different pictures.
And if that lady's listening, she might talk to AEW and get a deal like the painter
Nope.
that does the portraits for WWE does. Might be able to make a little bit of dough there. You never know.
Well, I also
One of the things I'm going to say in real quick, if you basically, if she did the concept, well, she did her version of it. If AEW liked it and they took it, again, okay, you don't own that look and all that. So she will have a lost case. Well, we saw the artwork. We thought it'd be cool for us. It's our likeness, our trademark. We can use it. That's the problem when you come up with making copies of or trying to come up with a concept that looks like a favorite wrestler or an idea or something. You can't make money off it because that belongs to that person. So the only thing that she could probably do is, hey, I did this, is it possible I can work on your art staff? Maybe go that route. But legally, there's nothing that she could do because she doesn't own she doesn't own the logos or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, that's just one of those situations. But move on. I want to move along, and I want to talk about Joe, your favorite wrestler, Mercedes Mone.
Yeah, here we go. Get ready, Lance.
That's Joe at SchoolofNewsroom.com.
No, I said get ready. Don't reveal it yet. We'll do that later. Go ahead, Rick.
Well, there's more talks on Mercedes Mone will be going possibly to AEW. Some reports claim that they're confident she's going to go to the WWE despite the recent talks stopping between the two. But many believe that this is some kind of like a curve, that WWE just wants to say, no, she's not going, we're not, we're done, and blah, blah, and just have her show up a complete shock. But then there's that other report, Joe, that Tony Khan offered her a $5 million contract.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
Even if it was accurate, she's not worth it.
No, she's not.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Mercedes Mone. If they signed her with the right deal, with the right money, okay, but even Eric Bischoff said, what is she going to bring to the company? What is she going to do for the company? Not a lot, and this is one of Tony Khan's biggest flaws. He sees all of, he wants to bring all these guys and wrestlers in his little sandbox. And as much as I respect him for the triumphs and like what he's trying to do and the things he's done in AEW, I think he kind of gets ahead of himself, so to speak. I think he needs real people to book matches as opposed to him, being his little fantasy wrestling league, so to speak.
It's funny when you look back at you're looking at Tony Khan today, it reminds me of a young Eric Bischoff. And Eric Bischoff even admits today, like him being young in the business, when he was running WCW, he had basically, he didn't have a filter. So, Tony Khan's in that same boat. Tony Khan's is in that position like, oh, I like this. I don't know if anybody is really getting, like, being a filter and say, hey, buddy, this is what destroyed us. This was destroyed WCW. Honestly, I think in a situation like that, somebody, and especially somebody like Mercedes Mone or Sasha Banks or fucking whatever freaking uncle's fucking slutty little niece. I think it's stupid. I think she's just using it as a bargaining tool so she can get more money and go to WWE. Obviously, she's going to do that, and you can't blame her because, hey, anytime you can go and use now you got another promotion, you can use that as a bargaining tool, and all else fails, you can still sign a deal with these people and get your way. That's what look at CM Punk. So honestly, is she worth it? Fuck no. Is she worth maybe $1 million or maybe $500,000? Maybe. But her temperament, we've seen it. She's overrated. She's old news. She's not all that keen. So Rick, I think she's just using AEW as a carrot, so WWE could say, okay, look, you got competition now. Do you want me or do you want them to get me and make more money? So I think it's just bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not sure. Like I said, the $5 million doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Even Terry 3G in the chat room said the only way she's getting $5 million contract if it's with Vivid Entertainment to make an Inside Monet like Inside Sunny. And
Oh
even I'm
God,
not.
she's not even worth that shit. You know, that's like trash, slut trash videos. Let's get this slut and let's put her out there. Let her get raped by 5 men, and then that'll maybe worth maybe $25 on the shelf.
Okay.
You know, fuck Mercedes Mone. Fuck her shit. She's not as great as she is. People need to get over that. She was a good entertainer in her day, you know. But as a wrestler, she did a couple of good moves. I think it's her hype See, they got me frazzled here with fucking Mercedes Mone. I think the thing with her is she just worked with the right opponents that helped elevate her. That was the only thing.
Yeah. Lance, your thoughts on Monet and her possible future and what's going on with her?
One, if Tony did offer her that money, she's stupid for not taking it. But straight up, I think in 17 days, we'll see her coming back through the WWE's Titantron at the Rumble.
And you know what? And a lot of people have been making that speculation that she could show up and make an appearance at the Rumble. And Terry 3G said, honestly, I think she's a better actor than she is a wrestler.
No, unless it's diehard fucking porn or being in a street corner. That's the only good thing about it. Have you seen this bitch without makeup? Fuck, she looks like a $10 hoe. Fuck. What she probably does is pollute the air with her uncle's fucking with her fucking uncle's weed, so everybody thinks she's fucking great. She's not great. She's not an attractive bitch. If I had to, I would okay, who would you pick? Her or Sky Blue? Fuck, give me Sky Blue anytime, any day.
And you wonder why I have not posted her as Babe of the Day. Anybody wonders why? Well, that's it, because I know it gets the backlash.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, she's flat-chested. Have you seen that weave that she has? That's not a real hair.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I can see it, boss. I can see it now if you do. Joseph Squadron Knight needs boobs.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding.
Damn right needs boobs. She needs boobs. She needs ass. She needs personality. She needs a face.
I don't know. She's got ass.
She's got a pretty, I'm with Lance on that one. I kind of like her ass. I don't know, Terry 3G, if you're listening, what do you think about Sasha Banks or Mercedes Mone's ass? I think she's got a pretty nice, decent ass.
Yeah, I like Terry 3G's post there. Here comes the money. It's the Monet.
So
poor Shane McMahon is rolling over on his bed right now. Notice I said bed, not grave.
All right, let's move along.
Please do. I don't want to see that little slut anymore.
All right. Well, PW Insider is reporting that Trinitty, also known as Naomi, will be making her way back to the WWE after her TNA tapings, which will be concluded in 2 weeks. And that's also around Royal Rumble time. So I don't know, guys, if after those tapings, if she has a no-compete clause with the TNA. So she could be another possible entrance at WWE's Royal Rumble. I don't know. What's your thoughts, Lance?
Well, the way I understand TNA contracts, it's once your dates are up, you do what you want.
Oh.
But well, her husband needs a designated driver, so we might be seeing somebody feel the glow.
Well, I think, well, they have Uber for that, but you know what? Joe, over to you. Your thoughts.
Well, first of all, that picture is not very flattering of her. She looks like she got super saggy boobs in this picture. She looks like fucking, what was his name? Kanye West, who used to play that character in Living Color, Wanda something with the big lips. You know, my God.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, thank you. You know, my God, look at that picture. I mean, and she's a very nice looking woman, but that picture does not suit her. AEW and WWE are the two companies that are the most retarded because they do not put clauses in their workers. But maybe they do, and maybe the talent coming in and says, "Don't put that in my contract, or I won't sign." So they could up and leave, and that's it. I think Naomi did the smart thing. I think she went to a different company, proved herself, maybe improved more her wrestling. Obviously, she was going to be women's champion because she is a former WWE person. Let's not overlook that. And they need someone like her to keep the company going. But the smart play is, okay, I'm going to give up my food stamp card and go to a place where I'm actually going to make fucking money. So she's doing this. She's doing what Drew McIntyre did. Leave, get better, come back, and take whatever contract they can give her. And look at the timing, everybody. Sasha's in negotiations. Now Naomi's in negotiations. Can we see these two team up again in the WWE, Rick?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's the last thing they would want because that's what they were remembered as. They both left as a tag team, and they were kind of at that point in their careers, with the exception of the title, stagnant. Yeah. So I think if they both come back, they're both gonna be, like scratching and clawing for their own solo title. I mean, I could be wrong. They could bring them back as a tag team. Who knows? But I don't see that. What about you, Lance? You see them coming back as and reforming as a tag team?
Not really. And I want to clear a little something up. The WWE's 90-day no compete only takes effect if the contract is ended early. Because once the contract is ended in WWE, the talent can go where the hell they want.
I'm not sure about that. I think even once they end a contract, I think they still have that 90 days. They get paid for those 90 days, but those for excuse me, they want, that person off TV for 90 days. And it's just one of those things that's, Vince was very smart about after the Monday Night Wars.
Okay, I'm gonna say something real quick. May I change the subject slightly?
Sure.
And then we could go back to it. I'm going through the wrestling rants on over on the Facebook in the group section. Just go under wrestling rants, and you put a great picture of C.J. Perry, which we all know is Lana. Nice boobs, nice eyes, and all that. She returned to the hospital due to a potential second infection on her finger. Well, stop fucking sticking it up your husband's ass, and maybe you wouldn't get any infection, you stupid dog.
That is so fucking horrible.
Leave that to Charlotte and Andrade. He loves having some shit stuck up his ass.
Oh, God.
And it sure ain't a Visa card, I can tell you that.
Olé.
Yeah. Even Terry 3G thinks it would be hard to bring them back as a tag team. They need to start off as to be a singles and create their own story. So thank you, Terry. I think that's pretty much we all in agreement on that one.
They might just slip him and put him in two different brands to make it easier.
Probably. But let's move along. The Wrestling Observer notes that MJF was told he could be out for close to a year if he has shoulder surgery. We talked about this last week. MJF wants to avoid that and hoping through rehab will, rather than surgery, can speed things along. So again, if he does not do surgery, he could be back as far as early as 3 to 6 months. There was rumors that he's going to be showing up tonight because he's never missed an AEW homecoming. But from what I've read, he's in Costa Rica, so I don't know if he finds a way to make it there. But even still, I think it wouldn't help the storyline that he's currently in against the what do you call it, the Undisputed Kingdom. I think that needs to I think this faction needs to grow a little bit so MJF come back and dismantle it. I don't know about you, Joe.
Yeah, they need to give it time. That's the problem with wrestling. You push something too fast, it's going to burn it out. And you're going to waste so much. You're going to do so much wasted opportunities. You need to slowly build this up. You need to watch the old school wrestling and how they did storylines and how they build it up. They need to keep MJF away. He needs to kayfabe, heal an injury or whatever, and then make a surprise at a pay-per-view. They need to make, Adam Cole and his group the most despicable group there is. backstage attacks. They need to do stuff to anger the roster, and then MJF can come back. That's why wrestling always has, especially today. Everybody knows fans today. Most of the fans today, I'm not going to say most, not all, have poor attention spans. So they'll watch something today and it's like, oh, well, okay, I already seen that. Can we watch something else? It's not like in the years prior where you would see a storyline build up over time and get that surprise ending. That's what they need to do. They need to I don't know who's in the back, honestly. I wish I knew who was in the back. I know at one time they had Malenko, they had a couple other veterans back there in the AEW locker room and production and all that helps run everything creative. They need to seriously sit down and tell Tony Khan directly in his face, stop doing this shit, or we're going to end up like WCW. He's the billionaire. He could take it. Fuck. He wants to fire you for having an opinion. Well, fuck you. That's why your company's going to die in another year. So, they need to really take this. They need to really let him heal up, let him go, let him take some time out, and then come back. And out of all the places, where the fuck you want to go to Costa Rica for? Let's go ahead to another third world country. Well,
I think in that case, he was just going on vacation. And even Terry said if the surgery prolongs his wrestling time and make his living life after, he should go to the surgery. But maybe, but I mean, I'm not sure the severity of it. I'm sure he'll have to sit down with the doctors and say, you either, you can do, one or the other, or we recommend that you have the surgery. Lance, your thoughts on all this?
Well, one, given where he lives, being on the beach in Costa Rica is probably a better idea than being there right now. Because he lives in Long Island, and Joe, it's getting colder up in that area, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's freezing up here, and the winds.
I'd say fuck this shit. I'm going to an island with some drinks and some beaches.
Yeah, no shit.
Give me a hot tropical island where it has plenty of food and big booby women that are beautiful that can't talk. Maybe one can talk.
Yeah, and Cherry 3G said he's noticing there are a lot of women wrestlers getting ACL injuries. We're talking about, and that also seems to be a bit of a trend as well. And he said just an example of Marty Jannetty's ankle. I'm not sure how where that kind of fit in.
Well, Marty Jannetty's ankles, you know what? And Marty Jannetty's ankle, his whole foot. It's because it's because he has a lot of injuries and never stopped to nurse it. And some of these guys couldn't afford it, let's be honest. They weren't making the millions like Shawn Michaels did, and who could go home and say, "Oh, I'm going home." And still come to work the next day. Yeah.
A lot of Marty's money went up his nose.
Oh yeah.
Well, real quick again, I want to talk
about a lot of women's vaginas.
Yeah. Well, going back to the I keep on saying Wrestle Kingdom, Undisputed Kingdom. Booker T even said on a recent podcast that this is a great idea, and if they push it the right way, this could be like AEW's version of the Bloodline. It could be that big if they push it. But
oh God, no.
Well, no. I think what he meant by that is one of the most, dominant, factions in the company. I don't, that might have been a bad choice of words because I'm not really a fan of the Bloodline, but I think, definitely, I think we should, I want to see this faction rise up and not just a bunch of guys come together only to break up a couple weeks, a couple of weeks or a couple of months later. But. Unfortunately, we don't really, as fans, we don't have much of a say. It's pretty much Tony Khan's brilliant ideas that, one day he wakes up and says, oh, wait, let's do this. And then the next day he erases it as if it never happened. All right.
Unfortunately, that's the most unfortunate thing that there is with wrestling. No, you know what, Rick? You gotta say one thing though. You can change a wrestling company. You know, you definitely can change a wrestling company because if it's your money, that makes them continue going. So, unfortunately, if a lot of people say, you know what, we're tired of your shit, they can leave. It's like what happened with what is it, Budweiser, Bud Light. They did a stupid thing. It cost them. Other companies, made money out of it. So I'm sure they must have some common sense back in AEW. And I said, might.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move along. As we know, for the past few months, there was we've been talking about Drew McIntyre not leaving the company. Some reports said he has yet to re-sign a contract with the company, and then he was on Monday Night Raw, where he teased that he should, his words, step away from the WWE and refocus. But this was nothing more than a setup for a CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud, because Punk came down, and that's when the two pretty much went back and forth, and oh, I'm going to win the Rumble. Oh, no, I'm going to win the Rumble. So, I mean, right now, honestly, McIntyre has not really gotten a fair handshake, through his entire time in the WWE. Yeah, he's gotten the championship, but even he said it's when nobody gave a shit. It's when the whole world was shut down during the pandemic. So,
yeah, he didn't live up to the potential because of the bad timing. They didn't give him any real push. So honestly, I think he needs to, I think he really needs to evaluate his career. Now there's another opportunity. He could go someplace else. He can go someplace else and make money. And I'm sure AEW would love to have him. My only problem with him going to AEW, look at the guy. He's a huge guy. Who do you have him? You can't have him lose to freaking Darby Allin or somebody. That's the only thing. So that's the only thing I could see him, he'll be a giant in the land of little people.
I mean, they have their own few big guys, not a lot. I mean, it's not like the land of the giants over there. But it's not midget world either, so to speak. It's definitely they have definitely a huge, a mixed. You got big guys like Luchasaurus. You have Evil Uno who's over there. Let me see a couple of other guys.
You have Brian Cage and Hobbs and all the
Powerhouse.
Archer.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe. But most of those guys are not in prominent, except for Samoa Joe. They don't have. They're not in a big picture. Like if you notice,
Samoa Joe's the AEW champion. How is he not in the big picture?
No, that's why I said aside from him.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Aside from him, everybody else, like Luchasaurus, yeah, he's in a little storyline, but again, look who he's catering to: Nick Wayne and Christian. Unless McIntyre does a thing with Adam Copeland or Luchasaurus or somebody big, then his thing is not going to be anywhere. But I think he could sure use that opportunity to go someplace else and AEW and maybe get a refresher like he did when he went to TNA.
And you know what? TNA wouldn't even be a bad idea either. I personally love.
God damn it! You really want to put these people out of work?
No.
You
I'm saying is,
you want them being on the. In fact, put it like this: working for TNA Wrestling, it's like living in fucking California. You might as well open a tent.
Oh Jesus Christ!
You're not making fucking money.
What's that? Homeless shelter wrestling? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, it's shelter wrestling. It's hobo battles 2000.
Oh,
You
Jesus
could fucking
Christ.
change the name of the company back to tits and ass. I mean, total nonstop action, and that's not gonna garner you fucking money. It's not. You know, when they learn to get real fucking talent, then maybe. And that's a bit of a stretch because there's no real good talent that's out there. And I'm sorry, Drew will be just. He'll look at his paycheck and he says, "When did I ever get a paycheck of with being paid in dollars and cents?" Oh,
All
I
right.
want correct change, please.
Yeah. Lance, what's your take again? We've been talking this Drew McIntyre story.
Well, we probably won't hear anything till close to Mania time. But if he doesn't sign with Endeavor or TKO again, instead of going to AEW, Impact, NWA, whatever, I can legit see him going to Japan.
Japan wouldn't be a bad idea either, but again, I'm sure he wants, to get paid a certain amount. I don't know if he works I don't know if he's an American citizen or if he has a working visa. So those are other things. I don't know if he's married here, family. So I know very little on Drew McIntyre's background or his family. I try to kind of respect that privacy and that factor. But honestly, I would love to see him go into AEW. I'd hope, but I think he's going to work things out with TKO, and he's going to wind up getting another contract because money talks at the end of the day, and I think you even know that, Joe. So.
Oh, absolutely, and let's face it, they don't have no more the best talent. WWE has mediocre talent, regardless of what people say about Roman Reigns or any of these, or Seth Rollins or even Cody. They haven't done anything specific that will make you want to look at their channels. That's a fact. It's a fact. Right now, you look at it and you're like, okay, what's next? McIntyre needs a total refresh, and the potential from him and Punk wrestling each other, it's laughable. Because let's face it, look who's to talk. The guy who went from one promotion, pissed it off, went to another promotion, pissed it off, and came back. So honestly, I think in essence, he needs to, if he's going to get into a war with CM Punk or a feud, it needs to be so one-sided just to test Punk's loyalty. You're going to fucking job to Drew McIntyre. Can you deal with your ego on that?
And right now, they're both going to be in the Rumble, but I guess I obviously do see them having a match coming up, and when that match does happen, I have a bad feeling that WWE's going to put Punk over because he's more popular. Unfortunately, as much as I hate him, I'm a minority because fans love CM Punk for some reason because he dropped a pipe bomb X amount of years ago because he could talk shit. He's a great talker, but in the ring, his ring skills are not that great. I mean, he's good, but he's not legendary.
Yeah, and the thing is, Punk is very forgettable. He's that one guy that you can honestly say, yeah, he's there, he's great, he's a good for a pop. But he's not the same CM Punk that was in his early career. When he was in the WWE and he made the waves and all that. So honestly, I think WWE's just using him for the name value, and that's it. Because he hasn't done anything specific.
No, so far he's done nothing but promos, and I don't even think he's even had a single match. I don't watch wrestling WWE that much, but so far all I've seen him do is just do promos. And Terry 3G said, I'd take Enzo over Punk any day of the night. You know what? I agree with you. Enzo's a weird. He's a weird character.
Yeah.
But at least he's entertaining. Punk, the shit he says is just like over and over again. It's like, okay, whatever. It's just I'm bored of him, to be quite frank. So, all right. Now we've all been talking about the rumors of the Monday Night Raw possibly going to another network. Um, there was rumors of them possibly even going to AEW's. Warner Brothers Discovery, which is the home of AEW. But now, one sports writer seems to think that Prime Video will be picking up the rights for Monday Night Raw. And I'm sorry, that could be a huge mistake. Now, I respect Amazon, but when you have a streaming television, there's no commercials, especially when you do something.
Actually, there is. If you don't pay, if you get Amazon Prime or you get any of the Hulu or stuff like that, there are commercials. So you either pay the extra little premium where you can, how can I put it? Or where you can pay that to have the ads removed. So you do have that. So you do have that. But here's another thing too. Rick, we're in a different era now that, technically now it's no longer TV. It's not a big thing. It's everything. It's streaming.
I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm right there with you. But I think when something like Monday Night Raw, who has Prime? Now, I have Prime. I'm sure, Joe, you have Prime. But Lance, do you have Prime?
No.
Okay. And a lot of other people don't have Prime. So they would have to go out of their way and purchase Prime just to get, to watch Monday Night Raw, which they watched probably on, whether it would just
USA.
be used. Well, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm talking about cable TV. So, and I do agree with you, Joe. We are in a different era. I have to watch, a Sling TV, which is streaming to watch AEW Dynamite, but it's still watching USA or TBS.
Right. Here's another thing too. This is not like the old days where you paid for television, like the companies had to pay to have their products on there. Now I think they're more looking at, in this case, they're more looking at, just to make some money. If a network is offering them enough money to have their product on there, then it's more all about that than anything. Then, oh yeah, we're gonna see how many viewers out there. We're not in that era anymore that Vince will say, yeah, we need to get more butts and seats. We need to do this. It's more about who's gonna pay to have the product on their network. So, in an essence like this, if let's say Amazon Prime does get it, they're paying WWE to have their product on their network, on their streaming network. And if WWE says, hey, you know what? I don't care. You're paying me. That's kind of probably what TKO is thinking at this moment.
Well, now, how about if you're talking about streaming service, why not even, go with Peacock? Peacock's a cheap, it's like $5 a month.
Well, that's where they have their network on it.
Yeah, but I think if they wanted to go a route where they wanted to go on a streaming service, maybe get off USA. For some reason, they want off USA. I know that they're considering talking about bringing SmackDown back onto USA.
Well, again,
it will be on USA.
Oh, it is returning. Okay.
Yeah. It really all depends on if that particular network wants the product. Then remember, if the network is the one that's paying, if they're offering you a contract to appear on their network or streaming service, that's how you make money nowadays. So that's what I think what we're seeing now is now no longer people, network. It's now no longer you have to worry about, hey, guess what? Now it's not like we have to worry about, do I have to worry about how many viewers are going to watch this? We have to get the stuff out there to the people. it's not really no more that. It's more, okay, we made a name for ourselves. We're big. We're the big company. Okay, now give us, you want us? Okay, give us this amount of money. We'll put on our shows. It's your problem if you cannot advertise us. So I think that's the difference today than compared to when, like 10, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. There was also another possibility of them going to FX, which is under the Disney umbrella. Now a lot more people have Disney, but I think Prime Video is going to get the higher the 18 to 49 um, area. So I think that's what they're really focused on. You go to Disney, you go into kids, but then again, to WWE is a kids show anyway, if you ask me. Um, so, all right. Actually, real quick, if TNA wasn't owned by the main owners of Fight Network, they wouldn't be shown on it, and yet they would have Fight to get those streaming platforms. And
Yeah,
again,
exactly. They would have to go to those different streaming networks and say, "Hey, are you interested in our product? Do you want our product? Okay, pay this amount and we'll put on a show." That's the basic. That's now the pro wrestling. If you're in the bigger leagues, that's how you market yourself, because it's no longer okay like WWE. Again, WWE's already the big name value. They're out there. Guess what? Everybody knows who WWE is. They've been out for generations. And now, if a company wants them, like Fight Network, let's say hypothetically, Fight Amazon and Hulu are fighting for who's going to get WWE on their network or their streams. Then it's no longer I want to see who's going to give me more viewers. No, who's going to give me the most money to have my product on their network, and it's up to them to advertise it.
all right. Lance, your thoughts on WWE going to Amazon or Raw going to Amazon?
Big fucking mistake. Because I've seen a few wrestling companies go to Amazon and their TV show was dead within a week or dead within a month. I don't think Amazon has the crowd for wrestling.
Wait, can I interject, Lance? What was the companies that went on there?
It was a company out of Chicago.
Okay, it was a Sydney company. So,
but it still was dead within a week or within a month.
Yeah, because they were probably paying for the time. That's the difference between paying for the time and having the network physically want you. It's different. It's like a security company. If a client wants to have a product or security, okay, then as the client has to pay for that to get the service. Today, that's how big wrestling companies work.
Yeah.
You have to have so much notoriety that people could say, "Hey, I want WWE." WWE is a worth product that you can get because no matter what, there's merchandise that you can make from. You can split so many different things. More ads will come in because WWE is there. So there is a lot of possibilities when you're a big company that people want you. For the little shindy companies that are out there that basically are looking to get noticed, to get on Amazon or Fight or something, they have to pay for it. So it's the reverse. If they want WWE, they pay them. If you as a lower company wants to get anything to get on a stream platform, then you pay for them. That's the big difference.
All right. And I read a little bit. I saw something on the news earlier. Leo Rush was in an interview, and he goes that he is one of the best wrestlers of all time. Thank you. That's how I exactly reacted. I'm like, huh? I'm like, of all time? I mean, maybe one of the worst wrestlers of all time. I don't know. Maybe he's getting his, Joe, help me with this one.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say it to you. What did Leo Rush do?
Nothing.
No.
Bobby Lashley's mouth.
No. Forget about that. You know what he did? He got everybody to talk about him. You guys are talking about him because he's like, I'm the greatest wrestler of all time. It's like clickbait. He got you. He got you to talk about him. The most smartest basic thing in professional wrestling is to market yourself. And he just did that by just saying the most absurd thing. Now imagine if he said, I'm better than Ric Flair. I'm better than Hulk Hogan. I am the best wrestler there is. He could be the worst wrestler ever, but you're talking about him. He's getting noticed. Today in the clickbait world where anybody says something stupid, they are out there, and especially if you're a wrestler, if you can get a bunch of people talking about it, oh hell yeah, people are going to pay attention. They're going to click on that. Hell, that's what brings attention. Look at Ryback. How many times Ryback has said stupid shit? The only difference is nobody listens to him.
Yeah.
So little buckwheat over here wants people to listen to him because he's on the fucking probably unemployment line. So I'm going to say something stupid. Everybody's going to talk to me. He's going to generate clicks. It's going to generate.
Wherever Leo Rush is, if his boss is listening, piss test him.
Yeah.
There might be some drugs in his system.
Yeah. And Terry 3G said Leo Rush probably at least better than CM Punk. You know what? I'd like to see that, the comparison.
I don't know. I think James Ellsworth is better than Leo Rush.
Fuck, I think Gilbert is better than Leo Rush.
Yeah.
I can remember, Gilbert. Leo Rush, the only thing I remember him is being fucking Bobby Lashley's little bitch. After that.
And he was in AEW for what, a minute? And before he just turned around and left because he didn't get what he wanted?
About a minute, yeah. And I think he got injured, but yeah, it's just shit like that. I'm like, oh my God.
But again, Rick, it's the most smartest thing he can do because you're talking about him. Other people are talking about him. So that's honestly, that's what gets him noticed. It's funny when you look at it, like who really talks about Leo Rush? Nobody talks about him. Before all this really came out there, nobody talked about Leo Rush. Now here he is. He says the most absurd thing. I'm the greatest wrestler of all time. I'm the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And everybody is talking about him, saying because he said the most stupidest thing in the world. Honestly, he just won a short promotional battle by getting himself out there and promoted.
Yeah. I want to move along. Matt Riddle, he actually did a recent interview as to why he's not jumping onto AEW or even TNA. He said right now he's making more money in the indies. He's doing his own time, and he seems to be happy in the indies. And former WWE wrestlers
the fucking marks will pay just to have him say, "Bro, watch me come down barefoot, bro."
Yeah, exactly. He said though he wants to go to Japan because he said that's his main, his main goal right now is to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Lance, your thoughts?
Matt, here's the thing. If you do, leave the leafy green stuff at home. They don't fuck around with weed in Japan.
No, fucking take it with you. Take baskets full and take enough that you can give Godzilla enough smoke. And when they fucking lock you up, you'll be giving the wrestling world the best gift ever. Maybe he'll be lucky. He'll be in the same cell with Sonny. Hey, you guys put me in the wrong cell with Grandma over here. You want some sunny days? No, bro. No.
Oh my God, that could almost be a sitcom I'd even worth watch.
Yeah, that would be like, she'll be like a new fat Roseanne. It's sunny.
Yeah. All right.
It'd be great. Before you say anything, Rick, wouldn't it be so great if they brought Married with Children back? Can you imagine the jokes Al Bundy would have with Sonny?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They couldn't do it.
It's a behemoth. A fat woman entered the wrestling ring today. Fuck.
Well, it looks like AJ Francis, who's also known as WWE's Top Dollar or NXT's Top Dollar, will be debuting in TNA's Hard to Kill. And you know what? Every time I heard Top Dollar, I'm like, who the fuck is Top Dollar? At first, I honestly thought it was a girl. I'm like, but it's a guy. Okay, so.
Okay, it was that fat bastard that tried to jump over the top rope.
Oh yeah,
and over, but
yeah, and landed on his feet. I saw that he botched
wasn't he part of a team called Top Dollar?
No, he Hit Row.
Oh. Well, you know what? He's a smart businessman. He did a couple of nights of WWE, and now he decided to market himself by going to the worst wrestling company ever and telling them, yeah, I'm a great wrestler. I'm a former WWE guy. Take me. Smart man.
All right. Well, we are going to wrap up this edition of Hardcore Wrestling.
Wait a minute. Have you talked about what's his name? The flamboyant guy they used to have many, many years ago in WWE that got fired. I forgot his name. Oh God, what was his name?
Velveteen Dream.
Yes, he was in the news. He apologized for all the stupidity he did. And probably more looking for a job.
Oh yeah,
he won a job.
Yeah,
he won a job back.
Yeah, I think he was trying to apply with the WWE, and they kind of laughed him off. There was some reports that he was trying to get in AEW. He can't even get in Indies because of all the shit that he had.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna be. I hate to say it, he's gonna be like Virgil line, you know.
He's gonna be selling his 8x10s under a bridge somewhere like a troll.
Pretty much, you know. I mean, the guy's already in his 40s. So yeah. I mean, I love the gimmick. Don't get me wrong, but after all this shady shit,
he was a hell of a worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. You know, and again, folks, that's a life lesson. You do something stupid in this clickbait society, and it'll cost you.
Yeah, but I don't think any company, really respectable company for that matter, really wants him. You know?
Oh well, maybe then he'll go to TNA.
Oh Jesus! Knew that was coming. No.
Yeah, you know. See, for folks that are listening, he opens the door for me, and I just walk right in and just take over.
You know, Joe, it's okay because you know what? I was you once. I was the one who just waited for somebody to set it up, and I just set up the pins and I knocked them down. But
yeah,
there you go.
Now you know, being the host, you gotta set up the pins for somebody else to knock them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the Gorilla Monsoon to my Bobby Heenan.
Oh, gee, thanks.
No, hell, fuck. Gorilla Monsoon was fucking.
Oh
awesome.
no, I kid you. That's a compliment. I mean, no, seriously.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna. I'll check real quick.
Yeah, real quick. Another thing too, while Rick is checking. You know, Lance, I was watching. Do you know who Dr. Hook is?
Dr. Hook? Sounds familiar.
He was a singer back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, okay.
He looks just like you, Lance. I thought you would know who he is. That's why I was like,
saying,
huh?
What songs?
Sharing the Night Together.
Huh.
There he is. He's gonna look it up too.
Yeah. Another thing is Ray Phoenix has stated that
he doesn't have the blonde hair. He doesn't have the blonde hair, and he has like a beard. But I'm like, if Lance grew a beard, he would look just like this guy.
All right.
But go ahead, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, it was an interview.
What did he break?
No, actually, he's still out on injury. but he's apparently trying to he wants to come back as soon as possible. The Observer said he's been dealing with bad back issues, bad hip, or both. So apparently the Observer doesn't know which one. They're just throwing all shit. Oh, he's got a bad back. He's got a bad foot.
You know what? I would not be surprised because honestly, these guys go out of their way to kill themselves. They don't know how to pace. They don't know ring psychology.
Well, that's like luchadors. That's luchador wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen also luchador wrestling, and you can pace yourself. You don't have to go over 50 miles per hour, 200 miles per hour, killing yourself.
Man, he did collapse like 2 or 3 times on TV, and one of those was on a pay-per-view in the 4-way.
Yeah.
Like him and Penta versus 3 other teams, and he just dropped like a sack of shit.
Yep, that's what happens. That these guys don't know how to slow the fuck down. Luchador or not, the name of the game is professional wrestling. And if you want to stay in the game a long time, you want to pace yourself. You want to take your damn time. You don't want to go and kill yourself. Because look at what that idiot from Top Gun Fly Club or
Top Flight.
That broke his fucking hip or something.
No, he broke his leg.
Bro, he broke his leg. Good for fucking him.
But he came back, and you know what? He's right now on the rise. He had a bad botch. Real quick, Terry 3G said, "You're a luchador wrestler. What doesn't hurt on you?"
Yeah, and you know how hard it is to keep jumping over the fence?
Oh God.
That's how they practice their. That's how they practice their. They're pretty much how to do flips over the top.
Oh jeez. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up this edition before it gets any more crazy.
Canceled yet, boss?
All right, Lance, I know you're over at Lance Boss TV. You do your coffee time. What do you got going on over there?
Right now, it's just every Tuesday night we go live on Lance Boss TV and Friends. We shoot this shit for about an hour and a half. It's at 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern.
All right. Joe, you're over at Skull and Realms. What do you got going on over there now?
Well, actually, you know what? My mouth talked before my brain. So that's normal. No, I'm going to be going back to doing retro streams again starting Friday night. So I'm going to be going back to the basics when it comes to video games. I'm going to do an Atari 2600 rundown. So I'm going to be doing that. I do games from yesterday to today, from consoles to PC. So you want to do the hashtag Scolders Realm on the 27th on Twitch. We are doing WWO Live, which is a interactive. We call it a virtual wrestling promotion. It is the format is around the WWE 2K24 with people talking, doing skits, doing promos, doing interviews. We do all that. So check it out. You can go right now on YouTube. Just do WWO hashtag WWO Live and you'll see some of the material up there. But Saturday, January 27th, definitely check us out on Twitch at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for WWO Live. And in June, we're going to be doing a live wrestling WWO, which is a real show up in Connecticut. And that's also going to be exclusive on YouTube, so you can buy the stream there. We have a lot of stuff that's going to happen. So just to give you guys an update on that.
Great. We can't wait to see it, Joe.
And I'm always advertising HWR on the show. So got to keep everybody up there. Got to support these guys, damn it.
Absolutely. And for those of you listening, if you want to support HWR, please subscribe to our Hardcore Wrestling Rants. And also take a time and hit that like button. And for more, if you want more of our Hardcore Wrestling Rants, we got a lot more. We have tribute videos, and over on our news page, Wrestling Rants, we cover a lot more wrestling news. I also will be covering tonight's AEW Dynamite. We got the Babe of the Day. Sometimes Terry most gracefully takes over and posts that, and I appreciate that, Terry. And much, much more. So you're never really going to find out what you'll find. Just get on over to Wrestling Rants. So, for the hardcore crew, I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Buy this shirt!
We're going to need to do something.